I had an old prophet look at me one time and he said, "Danny, you know what your problem's going to be?" He said, "Dealing with your success." I said, "I don't understand." He said, "When a man is living in success, he never asks the right questions." He said, "Your problem is going to be hearing God when everything is good." The fact is, some of you here in this place have come here to the Vous because more than anything else, you want to reproduce a Vous in your hometown. And let me say this to you. That should be your passion. But when you see all the signs of blessing and prosperity and success, when the flocks are fat, when the harvest is huge, when everything is coming up roses, you need to still ask the right questions. And that is, what is my Father's source of supply? You see, the first things to be set aside in the time of prosperity are the important things. You begin to set aside the source of prayer. You begin to set aside the source of pristine character. You begin to set aside the source of real relationships. You begin to set aside the source of mentoring people that will speak the truth to you no matter who you are. You begin to set aside the passion that you used to get up in the morning with. You begin to set aside the energy of being freshly filled with the power of the Holy Ghost. Those are the things that are the first things the enemy wants to stop up, because he's not interested in how good your band is. He's not interested in how big your venue is. He's not interested in how many warm bodies you can put in the seats. He's not interested in all of your clever cliches. He's not interested in the fact that you've mastered your craft. He's not interested in anything that you are able to do that seem to be the signs of prosperity. What he's interested in is finding that well that is the source of supply and causing you to understand that you no longer have the source and the habitation that God gave to your fathers. Had that happen to me. That drought thing. Where you suddenly look around and realize that the signs are diminishing. What's the deal? Where's the source? Not long ago, we faced the perfect storm. We have 3 organizations in our ministry. We have Evangel Christian Academy, which has become one of the foremost Christian schools, honestly, in the world. We have Winter Circle Ministries, which is much like Promise Keepers. It's a ministry that evolved from Duron ministries, like Promise Keepers evolved from Rich Wilkerson ministries. And then we have the church. All 3 were facing financial ruin. We had no money. I called my bookkeeper and I said, "There's not any money in any account?" I said, No, Pastor. We owe money everywhere. As I looked a month out, I realized that it was a colossal crash and burn. I honestly exhausted every other resource trying to find an answer. Nothing was encouraging. I called the governing elders and the ministry elders together and I said, "Look, guys, I don't know what to do. We're just going to have to pray." I said, "Oh my, has it come to that?"
Serious.
We began to meet at 6:30 in the morning and to just sit before God and pray. We did that for 2 weeks. Then at the end of 2 weeks, I said, "Guys, we've got to continue. We found something here." Let me say this to you. There is no source of delight like digging a fresh well. In November, we will have been meeting for 6 straight years, Monday through Friday. You say, well, what happened with the financial need? We had the largest financial month in the history of our church and our ministry. And then God began to visit us on the anniversary of our deciding to redig the well of my father. The next birthday or anniversary of our going back to the well, there was a man that called me from a nearby city and he said, Pastor Denny, I live in a nearby city over here. I go to the Methodist church, but I watch you every Sunday on television. And I have a water park that I've just paid off. It's the only water park in our whole area. He said, I'm just so glad I paid it off because I want to give it to you and to your ministry. The man just came and gave me a water park. The next birthday and anniversary of redigging that well, the board of directors of the Shreveport Country Club decided they need to donate that to me. Now I own a golf course. The Shreveport Country Club, Golf Digest called it one of the grand old courses of the South. If you're a golfer, I invite you to come and have a round on me. 186 acres in the city limits. Beautiful place. Next year, on the anniversary of our redigging the wells, we were given a beautiful property, an auditorium that will seat 700 in the fastest growing area of Bossier City, Louisiana, right across the bridge from Shreveport. We now have a church there that is over 500 in attendance. My daughter and son-in-law pastor. Next year, it was an office complex. Every year, on the anniversary of our redigging the well, there was a gift that was given that was out of the blue, beyond our expectation. You say, what